Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Vinodi Hari Ju ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Can you turn the lights on in the kitchen and here? There's light switches. And the other ones. They're over there.
And then, sorry, we forgot. There we go.
Gotcha.
I'm here to rescue.
Thank you.
We'll begin on page 1.
Mangalacharan.
Mangalacharan. Dandava Pranam, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. Or Vaishnavas because we haven't got the proof yet.
Right. Did anyone find the proof yet?
No.
So Mangalacharan, the auspicious invocation, page 1 of the Gaudiya Giti Guccha. It's also in your Gaudiya Kirtan app. It starts with Vandeham, V-A-N-D-E, apostrophe H-A-M, Vandeham. There is a very powerful storm brewing right now above our heads, so there's every possibility that internet can become interrupted like any other day. But please bear with us. We will try our best to be with you and to remember the glories and the teachings of our Gurudeva and Guru Varga together.
Shri केशवो नित्यनामिने अतीवत्यक्षरिद्वाय स्वश्रितानां च पालिने जीवदुःखे सदर्काय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभारती देवी गणिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दैवे ब्रह्मणे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिना श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनकारिणे रूपानुगो विरुद्धाम सिद्धान्तध्वन्दहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसम्बोधे वराम्बुजायते नमः नो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगौरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिया वैष्णवः सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय नमः वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्रिषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी
starts with Guru, Charana.
Guru. G-U-R-U.
And it's page 359 in the small book. Radhe Radhe.
You leading or me?
You. Please.
Still, I like to read the translations with it. What is it? Shri Guru Charana Kamal Bhajana. 359. There it is. Shri Guru Charana Kamala Bhajana. Shri Guru Vaishnava?
No.
Thakura Vaishnava Pada Avanir Susampada, page 38, Thakura Vaishnava Pada, Thakura. Thakura Vaishnava Pada.
Thakura
Do you want to lead? Nitai?
Which one?
Gogavinam Rajashri Nitai Gunamani Amma.
I've never done that on my own. I can try.
Yes. Mani Amar, Nitai Gunamani.
Page 61.
Page 61.
Ha Ha Mor Gora Kishore.
Ha Ha Mor Gaur Kishore.
Page 79 in the small book.
The other day someone wrote a question on Facebook. Yes, Facebook can be a source of remembering Krishna. If you just snooze all of those who are trying to distract you from Krishna, then you will just see Krishna everywhere. The question was, what is the most prominent name of Mahaprabhu? What is the most prominent? And we were having so many different discussions, but Ha Ha Mor Gaur Kishore.
Beautiful.
Gaur Kishore is right up there.
Gaur Sundar.
Gaur Sundar, Gauranga. What page is that?
79. Starts with Ha Ha. Thank you, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for providing the lyrics for all of us.
Prem Purushottam Shatinandana Gaur Hari Ki Ha Ha Mor Going to leave Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa or leaving up? Do you have something else? Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bande starts with Krishna. Page 343 in the small book.
Radha Nam Parama Sukadaya. They asked for Kotai.
I asked for
Kotai Go Prema Mai Radhe Radhe. I'm afraid to do that one because it has so many complicated parts. So
Okay, no. Do it another time.
it's okay. We
No,
can
do
do
it
it.
another time. Radha Nam is beautiful. Radha Nam Parama
Yeah, but Kotai,
Sukadaya.
everyone can participate with.
Radha Nam.
Okay, today again. Back to Radhanam Parama Sukadaya.
Page number?
Page 362. Radhanam Parama Sukadaya. Radhanam Parama Sukadaya. Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam unto the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaja Srila Prabhupada. To all of our Rupanuga Guru Varga and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including those who are with us today, participating in this kirtan and remembrance, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranams.
So I know that many days that we have begun these programs, I've mentioned something which seems a little bit morbid, but I feel it is imperative that I continue to mention it. A couple of days ago, one of our godbrothers, Kamalakanta Prabhu, passed away from this world. He was a very sweet devotee, always serving, very beautiful, sweet temperament, very humble, very kind and affectionate to all Vaishnavas. Also someone who is close to me, a close family member, their mother has just passed away, and others are also in quite difficult situations. So I think I can count within the last 2 weeks 10 people who I have personally known or who are very close family members or friends of someone that I know who have passed away within a very short period of time. Normally it takes about 3 years to see that in my life, so I'm noticing a very compact trend of a lot of departures among those who are within my circle. And the reason I'm telling you, and the reason I'm thinking about it, is because all of our Shastras, Srila Prabhupada has said repeatedly that the purpose of all of our Shastras, of all of our activities in bhakti, of everything that we do, is so that we can remember Krishna while we are living and also upon departing from this world. So the opportunity to depart from this world comes at any moment. We don't know when our time comes. We don't know when our friends' times comes, or our family members, or those who are connected with us. There's so much information, so many things to know about in this world. We have been knowing about all of these things for trillions and trillions and trillions of lifetimes. And it has not helped us to come out of the bindings of this material world. Knowing all of the good and bad things of this material world does not help at all. It continues to bind us. There's only one thing which can pull us out of this material entanglement, and that is always to think of Krishna, always to chant his names, remember his forms and his pastimes, his qualities, and discuss that, to do kirtan. Kirtan means of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. It does not only mean singing. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam. There we see the only way is Harer Nam, the name of the Lord. But he explains that there is no difference between the Lord's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. And so all kinds of discussion and glorification of Krishna is considered Harer Nam or Hari Nam. In fact, our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he explained that Hari Katha is the most powerful form of Kirtan. And he said, and who is the best Kirtaniya? Sri Shukadev Goswami. He's doing Kirtan. And who is following in that same line? They're also the best Kirtaniyas. Who is that? Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. They are the best Kirtaniyas. Why? Because they're only absorbing our minds in those things which are truly beneficial for us. Thinking about Krishna 24 hours a day and night, remembering Krishna. So with all of this death around us, and people realizing their mortality, yes, it's there, the greatest wonder, seeing that it's all around us, but it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. I don't care what it is which is taking people away, but the fact is 10 people within my circle have left within the last 2 weeks. So this is a very vivid reminder of how pertinent and how important it is for us to go deep into remembering the teachings and the mercy of our Gurudev, of our Guru Varga, of Srimad Bhagavatam, the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Did someone ask a question or make a suggestion?
Oh no, Jiva Pavana Prabhu said, when Srila Prabhupada was once asked why the death rate was so high in India, he replied that the death rate is the same everywhere, 100%.
Yes. The death rate is 100% everywhere. It is due to come to each and every one of us, and we have also experienced it millions and trillions of times over. However, because of this tendency to be forgetful, somehow this is one of the natures of the conditioned soul. Brahm, Pramada, Karanapatava, and Vipralipsa. So we have the tendency to come under illusion. That's the first one, Brahm. What is the illusion? It's not going to happen to me. Although everyone around me is dropping like flies, it won't happen to me. This is the great grand illusion. It will happen to each and every one of us. But when there is this reminder in front of us, that should be a boost. It's time to get serious. And not only for ourselves, it's really time to somehow help others. Look at the situation. Millions and billions of people are shuttered up in fear without knowledge of Krishna. And so whatever we can do at this moment, there is a very special medium of communication. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he nicknamed the printing press the Brihad Mridanga. What does that mean? It means the big drum, the big mridanga. In one kirtan, we might bang a mridanga, and someone within 100 feet or 200 feet may hear our kirtan. But through the printing press, books can go everywhere, and so that drum, the message of Krishna and Mahaprabhu, can be spread far and wide. Imagine what he would have done with our current medium of communication. Internet. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, during his time, they were publishing articles every single day. There was a daily, a weekly, and a monthly, where they were publishing, and he was questioned about this. And he said, if the material world is only considered 1/4 of creation, and the transcendental realm is considered 3/4, if they can pump out so much nonsense constantly in the material world, then at every moment and every second, because there is unlimited transcendental information, we should be able to continue publishing and promoting all of this transcendental information to the world. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had this kind of conviction that if so much nonsense can be put out constantly, then why not transcendental information? Really. Today, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, very mercifully shared with me a beautiful quote from Srila Prabhupada, and I wanted to share it with all of you because I felt it was very pertinent for all of us. It said SP. I believe that means Srila Prabhupada. Is that Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada? The need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. He wants to get out of the covered walls of the greater universe. It sounds like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. He wants to see the free light and the spirit. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. If you read the earlier writings of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, his earlier writings in English, it had that flavor of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also. There is a dormant affection for God within everyone. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. Therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagements that will evoke our divine consciousness. Here, again, there's a dormant affection for God within everyone. Dormant affection means it's already present, but it's in a dormant state. When that spiritual dormant affection is turned toward the material energy, it is pervertedly reflected as affection for gross and subtle matter. Therefore, we must engage ourselves in occupations that will evoke our divine consciousness. This is possible only by hearing and chanting the divine activities of the Supreme Lord. And any activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply a waste of time. Any occupational activity which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply a waste of time. I believe this is based on that verse in Bhagavatam, Dharma Svanushtita Pungsam Vishvakshena Kapasuya Notpadeye Jariratim Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. That it is all considered a useless waste of time or hard, useless labor. This is because other occupational duties, whatever ism they may belong to, cannot give liberation to the soul. Even the activities of the Salvationists are considered to be useless because of their failure to pick up the fountainhead of all liberties. So he's speaking about those who are aiming toward impersonal Brahman, impersonal liberation, who are aiming, these are called the Salvationists in this case, because of their failure to pick up the fountainhead. So they're not seeing the source. So even that is considered useless. The gross materialist can practically see that his material gain is limited only to time and space, either in this world or in the other. Even if he goes up to Svargaloka, he will find no permanent abode for his hankering soul. The hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. Such a beautiful and powerful presentation about our intrinsic necessity, that everything else that we do, if it doesn't evoke an attraction for hearing and glorifying Krishna, it's considered all useless because it won't unbind. It cannot bring the soul out of this samsara. So all other things, it's considered a waste of time, a waste of time. And so I will reiterate, if we know that we only have 2 days left to live, how would we want to behave? What would we want to engage our minds in? And how would we want our friends to treat us? Do we want our friends to show us the latest funny cat videos? Do we want our friends to show us the latest conspiracy theory, which might be unproven? Do we want people to pound us with all sorts of information? We want to be reminded of Krishna 24 hours a day. Kalam nayed. This is the essence of all advice. Tannama rupa charitari sukirtananam. Kalam nayed. Without cessation, 24 hours a day, in the association of anuragi, means devotees who are deeply attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, while residing within Sri Vrindavan Dham. To do Sukirtan means kirtan infused with...
It's back on.
Oh. Hare Krishna. I was just requesting all of you, if you can pray for those persons who have departed, especially our God brothers and God sisters, that may Srila Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, Sri Nityananda Prabhu Sachinandan Gaurahari, Shri Radha Krishna, mercifully accept them and bring them close to their lotus feet. So thank you.
Again, please forgive us for the internet connection today. There's been a crazy storm and wind going on in Vrindavan, so just keep refreshing if we go away for a minute.
And I've noticed that because of all of the devotees doing so much kirtan and sharing it online, the entire internet is getting sluggish, which is kind of okay, as long as it's kirtan that is doing that. So we're having a difficult time connecting in general, but as far as I'm concerned, we should continue adding to the kirtan and sharing Harinam all over the world. You never know who will see it. Maybe we can't go out into the streets, but no one is in the streets. They're at home on their computers and their smartphones, flipping through. And it might be that one person just sees somebody doing kirtan, like so many devotees came to Krishna consciousness through that process. We have all been infused by some Shakti, mercy of Sri Gurudev, that wherever we go and whomever we meet, if we tell them about Krishna, it may awaken something. They've told us to do it. So by that instruction, the potency is also present within. We should not feel that I am so incompetent and unqualified that I should not tell someone about Krishna, or I should not share the name of Krishna. So therefore, instead, I will share about Maya. No, this is not the proper understanding. My Gurudev has given me this order. I might not even realize that he's trying to work through me, but I should allow myself to be some kind of vessel for him to accomplish his work, his service to his Gurudev and his Gurudev like this. So we have that much capacity that we can share something. So now we will continue with Going Beyond Vaikuntha. This is Srila Gurudev's Bhav Anuvad, means the commentary manifesting from his heart on Srila Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It is very, very beautiful and so many deep moods within it. So before we continue, I would like to offer the prayer to Sanatan Goswami by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Apayanan Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripam Mudirya Paraduka Dukhi Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. And praying the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest within our hearts. Someone mentioned to me the other day that they noticed that I was folding the pages, and they said, you know, it seems a little interesting. And I said, yes, you're probably right. I probably should use a bookmark from now on. So thank you for mentioning that to me. I still tend to make mistakes, and I need help from the Vaishnavas to help keep me on the straight and narrow path. So last time we were reading from this beautiful book. We heard that Gopkumar had gone to Shivalok, and there he witnessed a very beautiful thing happening. Lord Shiva, his divine consort, Ganesh, Kartikeya, so many of his associates, they were doing kirtan, wild kirtan, dancing and chanting and remembering the names and the forms and the pastimes of the Lord. And it was explained very beautifully how they all appeared. And then the residents of Vaikuntha, seeing Shiva and Parvati, They offered pranam to them and said, "O Mahadev, you and Hari are the same soul." This is actually in Shastra. Harihara Ekatma Rup. So what did Lord Shiva do? He put his hands on his ears and he was like, "No, no, 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 no. What are you saying? You don't know anything. You don't know any tattva." Me? Ishvara? No. I am not the Ishvara. I am the servant of Ishvara, the servant of Narayan. So then from there we read how much qualified one should be to become Brahma. And then how long it takes to become Rudra. Here it says Shiva. There is an original Shiva who is not a position that the Jivas can attain, but the Jivas, after being as Brahma perfectly for 100 lifetimes, can attain the state of Rudra and help Lord Shiva at the time of universal dissolution during his Tandav Nritya. This is the dance of destruction. So Lord Shiva is telling them all of this, and he says, "I also desire to become a Vaishnava." So we understand that Shiva is known as the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. He's always taking the Charanamrita of Vishnu on his head. He's always serving the Lord in every way, in so many different forms also, including as Hanuman. He's serving as Gopishwar Mahadev. He's serving as, Durvasa. He's serving also as Shankaracharya. He was ordered by Vishnu, "You have to preach this conception," although he did not want to. Mayavaram ashastram, shastram. He did not want to preach this, but Vishnu ordered him, "You have to. There's no one else who can do it." So he's feeling, how can you consider me to be a Vaishnava? Vishnu has ordered me to preach against Vaishnavism. How can you be glorifying me as a Vaishnava? I'm not even a Vaishnava. And this is really the nature of a true Vaishnava. They don't feel that they are a Vaishnava. They feel that I am nothing. I am the most fallen. And those who are not really Vaishnavas think, I'm so great. I'm so expert. Everyone should see how great I am. Our Gurudev would always make jokes. See how beautifully I do kirtan. See how many shloks I know. How beautiful I can present Harikatha. Big japamala, 10 kilo japamala. Big tilak like this. But how great am I? Oh, no one knows how great I am. I'm infinitely senior to them. This kind of mood. This is not the mood of Vaishnava. This is something else. It can be maybe considered Kanishta. Maybe. Kanishta has a mood that I have faith in my Gurudev and faith in Thakurji, but they do not know how to honor other Vaishnavas properly. So Lord Shiva is saying, I also desire to become a Vaishnava. So by practicing Shuddha Bhakti as a Vaishnava, one attains Vaikuntha. But this is after assuming the post of Shiva for thousands of years. So it is not so cheap or so easy. I believe we made that point that when the demigods see that anyone has gone beyond, they become completely astonished and begin showering flowers. Someone has escaped from the shackles of Durga. Durga means fort. And that fort is the prison house of this material world. It's very difficult to escape. On our own, impossible. Like Bhaktivedanta Thakur says, Ekaki amar nahi pai bal. On my own I have no strength. I have no strength. And we say also in this bhajan, Jogyata vichare kichu nahi pai. I have no good intelligence. Gurudev, your mercy is everything for me. Also, the jiva cannot release himself from the shackles of Maya by his own power. He just doesn't have that capacity. Maya mukta jiva nahi svata Krishna gyan. By his own power, that jiva who is bewildered by Maya cannot free himself. And in the purport of Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya, this verse in Sri Bhagavad Gita, in that purport, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is telling that only someone who is liberated can free one who is bound. If you are bound, by your arms and legs behind your back. You cannot free yourself. And another person similarly bound also cannot free themselves, and therefore they cannot free you. So who can unbind us? Only someone who is actually not bound, someone who is liberated. That is why we depend upon those who are actually free to rescue us from this fortress of Maya, sometimes compared to a well, a deep well which is on fire. So, Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj said that Sri Guru is lowering mercy ropes. Those mercy ropes are coming from Krishna and Goloka Vrindavan, and Sri Guru is lowering those ropes to us, saying, take that rope, hold on and don't let go. Don't leave any slack, otherwise you will fall. Tie it tightly and hold on. That means hold on to the instructions of Sri Guru and don't give up, don't let go, don't drop. Otherwise, they will have to go through so much endeavor to rescue you again, except this time you have fallen. So it's a more difficult situation, right? What happens if someone is being rescued? This is okay as long as they're holding on, but if they drop, then they're in a much more difficult situation. Now they're much more damaged. It takes more endeavor, more effort to rescue that person, so much more. So we should hold on with everything within our disposal, everything at our disposal. Hold on to the lotus feet of Sri Guru, which are manifesting in front of us to bring us to our true home, which is service to Sri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So chanting his Gopal mantra, Gop Kumar saw that he had arrived at Vrindavan in the very same kunja near Keshighat where he had previously met his Guru. Interesting. So where he started in Vrindavan, where he was doing his bhajan, he arrived in Vrindavan from his human form in the very same kunja. So it's not in Aprakat Vrindavan. From there he came back to Bhoma Vrindavan. Remember we discussed that the last birth anyone will take is in any Bhoma Vrindavan where Krishna is performing his pastimes. From that we will take birth from the womb of any gopi and then become naturalized by birth into the pastimes of Krishna. And from there, when Krishna winds up his lila, we will go wherever he goes, to Aprakat and also to all other universes simultaneously where Krishna is performing his pastimes. So he came back to the same place. I think I missed something important that I thought it came to the end of the quote, but actually I had missed something, so let me revert a little bit backward. Lord Shiva said, I also desire to become a Vaisnava. Then by practicing sadhana bhakti as a Vaisnava, one attains Vaikuntha. Therefore, attaining Vaikuntha is not easy, it is very rare. And then he tells Gopkumar, it appears that you are ready to enter Vaikuntha, but you cannot go straight there from here. There is no direct path. That's quite interesting. There's no direct path from Shiva Lok to Vaikuntha. Lord Shiva is telling this to Gopkumar. No direct path from there. From here, from Shiva Lok, you should go to Braj, engage in some bhajan and sadhan, and then you can go there. Interesting, isn't it? Lord Shiva is saying, from here there's no access. Right? Imagine going somewhere, but the train stops, the tracks stop. You have to go back to the original station and then get a different train which has tracks that go all the way. Or you may have seen that with elevators. Some elevators only go to the 5th floor, but you need to go to the 20th floor. If you take the elevator to the 5th floor, you may have to come back down and then take another elevator to the top. So Lord Shiva is saying, it stops here. The road stops here. You have to go back down and then take the proper or the other road, the other path. There's no direct path from here. So chanting his Gopal mantra, Gopkumar saw that he had arrived in Vrindavan, in the same kunja near Keshi Ghat, where he had previously met his guru. So he started there. His Gurudev gave him Gopal mantra. He went to all of these different places, finally up to Shivalok, and then back to the same place where he started. There he immersed himself in sadhan bhajan, and one day he was reunited with his guru, Jayanta. With great prema in his heart, Jayanta began telling him some deep secrets, and Gopkumar was very pleased. What kind of secrets? Related to progress in sadhan bhajan. This is the requirement if you want to develop a sweet relationship with any Vaishnava, especially Sri Guru, or those Vaishnavas who will act as Shiksha Gurus. Then how do we develop that relationship? Rupa Goswami tells in the 4th verse of Upadeshamrita, Dadati pratigrunnati guhyamakyati prichyati bhunkte bhojayate chaiva shadvidam pritilakshanam. These 6 interactions are the symptoms of loving affection between devotees. Priti lakshanam, the intrinsic symptoms. What is that? Dadati means to give. Pratigrunnati means to receive. Guhyam akyati prichyati means to reveal one's mind in confidence and receive transcendental secrets in confidence. Bhunkte bhojayate cha eva. So bhunkte bhojayate means giving and receiving mercy, in this case, prashadam. And cha eva means and so forth. So, and all of the other dealings that one can have with devotees that will increase the mood of affection within the heart for them. So, Srila Gurudev explained that this is not just the exchange between normal devotees of the same level, but actually this should be the exchange between any devotee and a very senior devotee. This is sajati ashai snigdhas sangha. So those who are like-minded, but those who can help us to progress, and those who are affectionately inclined toward us. So giving and receiving would be that I am doing seva, and they're giving some mercy. Maybe it's in the form of a gift. Maybe it's in the form of, like this one, tad vijnanatam sagurum eva vigachat samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam, to bring facility for Guru to do yajna. So I might, back in the day, when they're doing their fire yajna, you bring wood, firewood, to assist in service. Or in our currency today, giving money so that Gurudev's books can be printed, or to help in some way or another. This is also dadati pratigrunnati. Guhyamakyati prichati, revealing one's mind in confidence. In this case, Gopkumar is speaking, or here it's saying, that the secrets which were coming back related to progress in sadhan bhajan. So many persons would come to our Gurudev and try to engage him in their material things. But actually he did not come for this purpose. He wanted to help in spiritual subjects. It's not that he wasn't aware, but to try to engage his energy and his time in our material things, this is actually not the proper way to approach Guru. One time we were in Fiji with our Gurudev, and he must have been on the phone for over an hour. One devotee lady was crying to him, really upset. She had called from another country, and it was an hour, and he was just trying to pacify her because she was having a difficult time with her husband. She was having some great difficulty in her relationship with her husband, and she was suffering so much, so she called Gurudev on the phone, and in so many ways he was trying to pacify her, giving her different bits of advice. And finally, after this 1 hour, we were in front of him. I think it was only Sudevi and myself at that time. And he put the phone down at the end. He tried in every single way. He put the phone down, and then he just said, "Ha, Gurudev." He put his hands on his head and he said, "What has my life become? I was doing sadhan, bhajan, and Vrindavan, and now I have become a marriage counselor. what has happened? What has my life become? So we should try not to bring mundane things to Gurudev unless our intention is to dovetail whatever situation we're in into bhakti. So in this case, guhyamakyati prichati, what is being revealed in return? Secrets of how to progress in sadhan bhajan. This is when you're revealing your mind in confidence. I have all of these problems. Bhaktivedanta Thakur is showing us in his bhajan, Chanchala Jivana Shrota Pravahiya. What is the nature of my situation here? But he's always ending in a prayer. Shri Radha Krishna Padakamale Mana Kemana Lobhive Charama Sharana. He's saying, I have so much thirst for material things in this world. My heart is full of material lust, he says. So please, dovetail that. Now my heart is going toward the calm of this material world. Please, now allow it to go to your transcendental aprakat calm, your transcendental praying pastimes. It's now perverted toward the lust of this material world. Let it go toward transcendental calm, which is the only recipe to remove the material lust. So he's showing, I have this, but please bring me to that. The Vaishnava never just leaves an empty prayer just telling all of my material things, but is always requiring that I need help to come away from all of these material bindings toward spiritual bindings, to leave Maya Sangsar and enter into Krishna Sangsar. Krishnera Sangsara Koro Chari Anachar Jive Doya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sar. That we should give up all of our material Mayic Sangsar and enter into the family, the Sangsar of Krishna. Jive Doya Krishna Nam. Give mercy to all jivas. How? Tell them about Krishna. Give them Krishna's name. Krishna Nam. Take shelter of Mahamantra and the names of Krishna. This is the essence of all religion, the essence of all dharma, sarva dharma sar. So guhyamakyati prichati bhunkte bhojayate. What is bhunkte? Really it means, in this case, bhunkte bhojayate means I should prepare something and offer it for the pleasure of Gurudev, for the pleasure of Thakurji, Shri Radha and Krishna. And then I should take their remnants. Really, I cannot directly offer. The first mantra we chant, before calling Radha and Krishna to come, we call Gurudev. Oh Gurudev, I have no capacity on my own. I have no strength. Your mercy is everything to me. I have some relationship with you. You have given yourself to me. Please come. And we give Gurudev Achman. We give Gurudev the offering plate. And we ask Gurudev, very humbly, you please offer this to your beloveds, Shri Radha and Krishna. So there's a process. And then the Mahaprasad comes down. After Mahaprasad comes, then we offer it to Guru Parampara. Down the line, not up the line. Why? Because my Gurudev will not give his remnants to his Gurudev. It's common sense. So down the line, there's a progression. Then it comes to my Gurudev. Then we say, for all Vaishnavas, we offer that prasad to all Vaishnavas, and then we take that Mahaprasad as Mahaprasad. Mercy of the mercy of the mercy of Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Sachinandan Gaura Hari, all of our Guru Parampara, Guru Varga, all Vaishnavas. Then it comes to us. This is Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva. Of course, there are so many other definitions, because sometimes you could say Bhunkte means to imbibe, but this is the general understanding. And by these 6 interactions, then love and affection develop within the heart. And by that love and affection, mamata, possessive mood, manifests. When one comes to that point of possessiveness, we all know what is possible if someone is possessive of another person. Possessive meaning that I am yours and you are mine. If one has this mood in their heart, then no matter what, they will only do what is favorable for the development of that relationship. If someone sees a child in danger and they think that is my child. This is possessiveness. What would they not do for their child? They would easily give up their own life. That is why our Gurudev, our Guru Varga, they have literally, we told yesterday, Gurudev himself said, we have given our heads in service to our Gurudev. This kind of mood can develop when one has mamata, deep, deep possessive relationship, mineness, Gurudev said. That all I know is that I am yours and you are mine. Does anyone know that bhajan? I think it's Amito Tomar Tumito Amar. You can please post it. Atmani Vedantu Apadekori, I believe. Gurudev said we can also chant this bhajan for Sri Gurudev. All I know is that I am yours and you are mine. Very interesting. I just looked down and there's something coming up exactly on that point. So, what kind of secrets will be revealed? Related to progress in sadhan bhajan. Then you will know that real mercy is coming. Your favorite deity is Gopal, as Gurudev is telling him. Jayanta is telling Gopkumar, your favorite deity. This means your Ishtadev. And you are worshipping him in the mood of fraternity, Sakya Bhav. So Gurudev can see the intrinsic nature of the disciple. What is his nature and his eternal relationship with Krishna? What kind of relationship is there? This is almost the entire point of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. To show that it was always inherent, it didn't change no matter what association he took, it remained the same, and everything that he had to go through was only bringing this point more and more to the forefront. That it is already inherent within, and it just needs to be awakened by the proper association. So his Gurudev is now directing, just like in Jaiva Dharma, the very beginning. The Guru had two disciples. One disciple was of Sakya Bhav, friendship mood, and the other disciple was of Madhurya Bhav. The Gurudev was in Madhurya Bhav, so what did he tell his disciples? Just like this. You are in Sakya Bhav. This is your relationship with Krishna. This is how you should serve Krishna. Your sadhan should be according to that bhav. And the other one, you are in Madhurya Bhav. You are Raman Manjari, he said. Your sadhan and your bhajan should be according to this mood. So then they don't have to waste time trying to figure it out and calculate it. Sri Gurudev is Tattvadarshi. He knows the truth. He knows Krishna. He knows himself. He knows his relationship with Krishna. Therefore, he has access instantaneously to all knowledge. And if he's acting in the role of Guru, then his function is to awaken us and direct us toward our particular sadhya, our goal. Therefore, he gives us the appropriate sadhana to make it to our goal. Unless we're so far behind that maybe we need to develop so much more sukriti. But in general, Guru gives a direction, some indication of what our goal is, particular goal. So in this case, for Gopkumar, his Gurudev is saying, your favorite deity is Gopal. It's not just about favorite. The word is translated here as favorite, but really it is the form of the Lord who is his intrinsic, internal, eternal, inherent, beloved Lord. That is called Ishtadev. And that is really not changeable. So your favorite deity is Gopal, and you are worshipping him in the mood of fraternity, Sakya Bhav. Until now you have been chanting the Gopal mantra, but in Vaikuntha, that mantra will no longer be effective. In Vaikuntha, the Gopal mantra won't be effective. Why? Because Gopal mantra is far beyond that. Gopal mantra brings one to Braj, to Vrindavan. Vaikuntaj janito varamadhupari tatrapirat sosavat Vrindaran nimudarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhana Radha kundamihapi gokulapate premamrita plavanat Kuryat asya virajato giritate sevam viveki nakaha. Rupa Goswami is telling, more than Vaikuntha is Mathurapuri. More than Mathurapuri is Vrindavan. More than Vrindavan is Govardhan. More than Govardhan is Radha Kund. Kuryar asya virajato giritate. Sevam Vivekinaka. You show me that intelligent person who would not want to reside at the foot of Giriraj on the banks of Radhakund, rendering transcendental loving service to the divine couple 24 hours a day, doing their sadhan bhajan in that state. So, but his Gopal mantra will not be effective there. There is no sadhan there. It is a place of sadhya, final attainment. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Vaikuntha is a place of final attainment. It is not a place of sadhan. Only from the human form can one endeavor for perfection. You know which verse I'm referring to? Srimad Bhagavatam tells that only from the human form can one actually do sadhana, can one endeavor for their sadhya, their goal, endeavor for perfection. Oh, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Labdva sudurlabam idam bahu sambhavante manusyamartada manityam apiha dhira turnamyate tanapatet anumrityu yavan nishreyashaya vishaya kalu sarvatasyat. That although this human form is rarely attained, and although it can also give you the same facility as any other animal form, eating, sleeping, mating, and protecting oneself, defending, still, the human form is special because only from the human form can one endeavor for perfection. So it gives us that rare and valuable opportunity, as our Srila Prabhupada said, to make the choice whether to remain bound in samsara or to get out. This human form is that opportunity. What an amazing, valuable opportunity. So then Srimad Bhagavatam recommends, so therefore, having this understanding and this knowledge, until this body drops off, means is finished, one should utilize every moment to really bring out the most of the valuable opportunity which has been granted us. That is the opportunity to endeavor for perfection, only from the human form. The human form is the plane of sadhana. Here it is saying Vaikuntha is already the plane of sadhya. It is already an attainment, an ultimate goal. But sadhana, this happens on the human platform. And just so you know, the commentary of that verse, I found it to be quite interesting, is the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his friends. Beautiful, beautiful, elaborate commentary to that verse of Bhagavatam is there in the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj to his friends. Therefore, all of the branches of sadhana that you have practiced up until now will not be effective there. Now your internal identity or svarup as a sakha has arisen. You are related to Krishna as his beloved friend. So this is something that Guru will do as you are developing in your realization through your sadhan bhajan. Then you will come into connection with your Gurudev and you may reveal to him in confidence, I am feeling this kind of awakening inside. And then Guru will confirm that or deny it. Maybe you're doing the wrong thing. It could be. Like the example we gave of Sudevi the other day. She had read Srimad Bhagavatam. She read it on her own, the 10th canto. She saw that Krishna was only in Vrindavan for a few years, 10 years. Then he went to Dwarka for 90 years. So she realized on her own, without being under proper guidance, that, well, it's apparent that that's where Krishna wants to be, because she didn't hear the rest from our acharyas, that Krishna is in Dwarka crying every night, wetting his pillow, calling out the names of the gopis, Hey Radhe, Lalite, Vishakhe, and his queens are going, what's going on? They want to know. What is it that is keeping him so bound to those personalities in Vrindavan? This is the whole history of how Jagannath, Subhadra, and Baladev manifested. So she had read on her own, without having more complete information, that Krishna went to Dwarka for 90 years. So she decided, I want to be a queen in Dwarka and also have my own palace. my own maidservants, 10 sons and a daughter, and Krishna as my ever-adoring husband. And she was doing her sadhana on her own. She started weeping, crying, chanting, focusing, really putting all of her attention there. And had a fascination with Lord Jagannath. So much so that when they said we need to change the deities, they were going to put the old ones in the ocean and make new ones. She was like, those ones were installed by Prabhupada. So we had made a plan to make sure that that wouldn't happen. So she made all kinds of plans, and they actually had to guard them. So there was a fascination in that arena. When she met her Gurudev, it was like, this is not your relationship with Krishna. So don't continue down that path, because for you, he said, for you it will never be. Your beloved is Brajendra Nandan Shyama Sundar Krishna in Vrindavan, and your Swamini is Srimati Radhika. Simply straight up like that. He didn't say much more, didn't go into detail, but suddenly it was, no, that is not your goal. Don't waste your time going in that direction. The nature of your soul will not be satisfied going there. The nature of your soul is a different way. You should go in this direction. And for others, he told them, your eternal relationship is not with Krishna in Vrindavan. Your eternal relationship is with Sri Ram, so you should go in that direction. Sri Guru can know and see these things and give indication. And we see throughout our Shastras, we see in Jaiva Dharma, we see in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we see in the writings of Rupa Goswami, in the writings of all of our Acharyas and Goswamis, that this is proper and bona fide. Some people will think, oh my God, how can a guru do such a thing? Guru should be able to do that. Otherwise, they're not guru. If they cannot do it, they're not really guru, because they don't know and see the truth. It might be that a guru doesn't do that, but they should be able to. And if a guru does do that, they should not be criticized, because our Shastras, our Guru Varga, our Goswamis have described this in their books. Rupa Goswami has described it. Sanatan Goswami has described it. The seventh Goswami, Saptam Goswami Satchidananda Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, has described it in his book, Jaiva Dharma, and in many other places. So we should not deny that a guru can do such a thing. It is possible, it should be possible, and it can be done. It's accepted and acceptable. Yes?
There's a question, I don't know if it's from a little earlier, but Krishna Prabhu. He said Vaikuntha there means all of the spiritual world, because for example, Gopa Kumar goes through Ayodhya and other places that are not his final destination, but are Vaikuntha, right? Then if he is not chanting his Gopa mantra, which process is he taking to get to his final destination? And he said, I'm sorry if you explained it and I missed it.
I didn't explain it yet, and then I'll get back to this point. So this question was asked. Generally, in this case, when our Gurudev is referring to Vaikuntha, it doesn't mean all of it. It means the realm of Srimad Narayan and Lakshmi Devi, where all transcendental associates have what is called sarupya, means similar forms to the Lord, similar opulence to the Lord, similar appearance even to the Lord. The Lord is distinguished by certain characteristics, including Sri Vatsa, a special mark on his chest of Lakshmi Devi. So he's distinguished from them, but they all have similarly beautiful forms as the Lord, and it is the realm of Aishwarya. So usually, Aishwarya means opulence, amazing opulence. So when our Gurudev is speaking about Vaikuntha, generally he's referring to that dham, the dham of Srimad Narayan and Lakshmi Devi. Of course, we understand that Vaikuntha also can mean the greater transcendental realm, and within Vaikuntha, then you can go deeper to the more personal aspects. So then Ayodhya, and then Dwarka, then Mathura, then Vrindavan, then Govardhan, then Radhakund. So in one sense, you could say the whole transcendental realm is known as Vaikuntha because it is the land without fear, or the realm without these kinds of disturbances, mundane or material disturbances. But in this case, he's specifically referring to the realm of Narayan and Lakshmi Devi. What was the second part of the question? If Gopakumar was chanting his mantra?
Then he is not chanting his Gopal mantra. Which process is he taking to get to his final destination?
So, this is a theoretical question. If Gopakumar is not chanting his Gopal mantra, then what process is he taking to get to his final destination? In this case, we know that Gopakumar is chanting his Gopal mantra. The simple fact is that all jivas, whether or not they're within the form of a human or within the form of any other species of life, even within trees, birds, fish, aquatics, bacteria, or whatever, any living thing, every single jiva has an intrinsic, inherent nature. Jivera Surupa Hoy, Krishner Nitya Das. It is a servant of Krishna. And we have been transmigrating. Means these souls have been moving from one body to another, to another, to another, since time without beginning, according to our desires and the subsequent reactions to our desires. So we have moved through so many different bodies, but that thing which does not change, which remains the same through all of that, that is known as the imperishable soul, Krishna says. That soul is unchanged, and its nature is unchanged, and its inherent, particular, specific nature of service to Krishna is also inherent within it, like a seed form, and that is also unchanged. So, if he did not receive his Gopal mantra and was not chanting his Gopal mantra, still eventually, at one point in time, and Jayavadharma mentions this, and I believe it's chapter 16, as one is endeavoring to enjoy within this material world, they develop or receive, more and more enjoyment. More and more. But the natural consequent of receiving or experiencing more enjoyment is the cosmic balancing act. To the degree that I enjoy in this material world, to that degree I will have to suffer. And then as I'm suffering, I start striving for more and more relief from that suffering and enjoyment. So it's like this. We're always doing that. But because I endeavor to enjoy more, then the suffering comes more. So Jayavadharma takes it, now flip it. The suffering comes more. At a certain point, you hit what we call rock bottom. Rock bottom means you're done with it. You're done with it. And at that point, Jayavadharma says that the jiva can cry out to Krishna from a place of deep sincerity in extreme anguish. Feeling that I have no other shelter than you. This is the beginning of Sharanagati. That I have no other shelter. I have experienced everything there is to experience. At that time he calls out, please help me, please be merciful to me. Even Bhagavatam says, the jiva, who is within the fetus, within the womb, is experiencing such an uncomfortable and difficult situation that he's keenly aware of his suffering. And at that point, he is praying to the Lord, please help me. I promise I will use my life in your service. But the birthing process is so difficult and so extreme, so much pain for that baby, that once he comes out, immediately everyone starts to impress on this poor child. I'm saying it like this. Instead of saying, Hari Bol, a jiva has come into this world. Let me remind you who you are. You're an eternal soul. You are an eternal servant of Krishna. You should utilize all of your energy in the service of Krishna and don't be distracted by Maya. We don't say that to them. We say, my baby, he's a boy. Let's give him boy toys. Oh, she's a girl. Let's give her dolls and pink stuff. And let's impress upon you that you are your body and this world is the place of your enjoyment. Because of this, they completely forget. Completely covered by illusion due to asat sangha in the form of friends, family, parents. What is the duty of parents? Gurur na sasyat, svajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyan, daivam na sasyan, na patishya sasyan, na mochayadyas samupeta mrityum. That person who is in a position of responsibility over others, guru, friends and family, father, mother, husband, demigod, all of these different positions, if they cannot help you from the path, help you or stop you from the path which leads to death. This means if they cannot help you toward Krishna Bhakti, they're not really fit to be in those positions. According to Shastra, they are actually fit to be rejected because they're not helping you to remember Krishna, your purpose for your existence, to love and serve Krishna. So really our duty as any relationship with anyone is to remind that person who has connection with us about Krishna, to share Krishna's name, his pastimes, to somehow encourage them toward remembrance and service of Krishna. This is real mercy. To do otherwise is considered to be violence to the jivas. Jiva hingsa, or violence to the jivas, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explains, is not murdering someone, is not kicking someone out of their house, is not beating someone up, is not hurting them. This is all related to karma. Real violence to the jiva, the soul. How can you commit violence to a soul? Srimad Bhagavatam mentions certain aspects of what is violence to a soul. What is encouraging any jiva or anyone to engage their time in anything other than service or remembrance of Krishna? This is considered violence to any jiva, because it is helping them to continue rotating through the cycle of repeated birth, disease, old age, and death again and again and again and again. So it is violence to that jiva, because it is helping them to be in a state of chronic separation from Krishna. And the other thing that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada mentioned in terms of violence to a jiva, jiva hingsa, is to have all of the knowledge that we have, to have an understanding, to have come into this path of Rupa Anuga Bhakti in the line of Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, our Guru Varga, Srila Prabhupada, our Gurudev, to have Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the cure for all diseases, Maha Oshadai, the cure for all problems, every difficulty, for all time, and to avoid sharing that with another. There's someone next to me who is dying again and again and again and again and again. And they just need one little word to Hare Krishna. They need that because they've just been bound in this cycle. So to avoid sharing, this is also called violence. Imagine having some really terrible disease and you're suffering so much that you just have to keep taking all kinds of injections to stop the pain. So you're in ignorance and your body is literally failing you. And someone standing next to you has a simple tablet, one tablet that they can give you that will cure your entire disease. And they see you in the disease state, but they don't give you that tablet, even though they have it with them. What would you think about that if you found out that they have the tablet on them? What a selfish, miserly person. It's like a subtle violence. Because of their lack of action in this case, they are also responsible for my suffering condition. So we are also in this situation. We have the magic tablet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna is your beloved. Krishna is your friend. Chant the names of Krishna. Remember Krishna. Always serve Krishna. Never forget Krishna. We have that much we can give. And that is mercy to the jivas. And Mahaprabhu has ordered all of us that we should give mercy to the jiva. Jive doya. Give that mercy. This is one of his main instructions. So, didn't miss a point. I was answering Krishna Kripa's question. Eventually, if we are sincere and we're crying out from the core of our hearts, we're crying out from the core of our hearts, from rock bottom. Sat anga sharanagiti hoibe jahar tahara prarthana shune Sri Nanda Kumar. Someone who's taken shelter of the principles of sharanagati, surrender, Krishna in Vrindavan, Sri Nanda Kumar will hear that. Some form of the Lord will hear that desperate calling. Sangsara dava nalalidhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. I'm burning in this forest fire of material existence. At such a time we begin crying out, I'm burning, I need water, give me water, I'm burning. From that position, we will call out with sincerity, and Krishna will hear that cry. He is an ocean of mercy. That ocean of mercy will send its vapor up into the atmosphere, condense it into a very thick cloud, and send it over this forest fire to shower its rain on us. That is Sri Guru. One day or another, we must meet with Sri Guru. Our Gurudev and our Guru Varga have explained. How will you know that Krishna has heard your prayer? How will you know that Krishna has heard you crying out for mercy? When he manifests in front of you in the form of Sri Guru. The condensed form of the mercy of Krishna. For the purpose of helping to extract us from this blazing forest fire and place us in service at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So if we have not received our mantra, one day or another we will be bound to cry out for mercy. And that mercy, this is Guru Tattva. It's not like there was one Guru and then there's no Guru anymore. Guru Tattva is an eternal principle. Krishna is an eternal principle. And his mercy is an eternal principle. If we follow this process sincerely, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in a concentration camp during a war, in a foreign country, and your Guru can tap you on your back and begin speaking about Krishna to you. We've seen this in the life of Walter Eidlitz. He was a German in India during the Second World War. At that time, England was in charge of India. So they collected all of the Germans and shoved them in a concentration camp in India. And they treated them quite harshly. So this Walter had gone to the Himalayas, he'd gone everywhere searching for truth. And he went to so many different gurus and learned so much. But the one thing that he did not learn about was love. He wanted to know what is this idea of love for God. And he couldn't get good answers from others. So it happened to be Janmashtami night. He didn't realize it, but it was Krishna Janmashtami. He heard so many outside of the prison celebrating and doing kirtan. And he felt the joy outside. And that night, he said, he was crying, praying from the core of his heart, calling out, I want to know what is love for God. I want to know what is love for God. The very next day, someone came behind him and started speaking in German. And the first thing they talked about was love for God. And he turned around and there was a German person there wearing Indian sadhu clothes. That person happened to be the first German disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, Sadananda Swami. He was also put into the concentration camp because his body was German. And there, Guru manifested in the form of Sadananda Swami to this Walter Eidlitz, who became later known as Vaman Das, inside a prison cell. In such a horrific situation, but he was calling out sincerely from the core of his heart. And we see where else Krishna manifested in a prison cell. In such a horrific situation, to Vasudeva and Devaki. So Krishna can do anything. We should not limit him. He can make the impossible possible. If one is sincere in crying out from the core of their heart, praying for mercy, Krishna will hear that prayer and he will connect one day or another, one way or another. In any situation, in any place, we should have faith in the eternal principle of Guru Tattva. So if we have not yet received mantra, if we're sincere in crying to Krishna for mercy, or even crying for truth, crying out to God for mercy, one day or another, Sri Guru will manifest in our life and give us the mantra, means the way to awaken our relationship with our Ishtadev, our particular Ishtadev, will give us that mantra by which we can attain perfection, and that is in loving service to our Ishtadev. On this issue, we should have no doubt. Guru Tattva is an eternal, essential, intrinsic principle, a Tattva that always was, that always is, and that always will be. So we should never lose hope. If our Diksha Guru has physically left our presence, left our vision, still we should not lose hope. If we're really sincere, then our Diksha Guru will send us help in the form of Shiksha Gurus. This is the same principle. We should always be in that mood of needing help. Tomara Kuruna Sar, Karuna Na Hoile, Kandiya Kandiya, Prana Nara Kibo Ar. Always praying for the mercy of Krishna. Always praying for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. That on my own I have no strength, I have no good intelligence, I have no power. Weeping and weeping. If I do not receive your mercy, which I am dependent on, I will not be able to maintain my existence. With such a state of mind, in deep humility, right? Gurudev Kripa, Bindu Diya, Koro Edase, Trinapeka Atihin. Please awaken real humility in my heart. Give mercy to me. Accept me as your servant. So we will stop here. Shri Brihad Bhagavatamrita ki jai, going Beyond Vaikuntha ki jai, Shri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanu Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Thank you for your questions and the inspiration which you have given so that I can remember these beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and Guru Varga.
Did you ask him how do we know who to trust?
No, that just came up.
So tomorrow you can begin with Susan Moon, and she's asking, how do we know who to trust?
27.
Okay, so tomorrow we will begin with your question, Susan. How do we know who to trust? Very good question, very good. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Krishna Naam Sankirtan ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Thank you very much for participating with us today and for asking your questions and for encouraging us in this seva. It's so beautiful for us to be engaged in this seva because our Gurudev instructed, he ordered us that even after I am no longer in this world, on this sphere, I want that you continue traveling and preaching my mission everywhere and helping my children on my behalf. So by participating, you're also helping us to serve our Srila Gurudev, which is our life and soul. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.